A very good afternoon, children. In today's class of English language, we shall take up some exercises on direct and indirect speech. Okay. Before we go on to proceed on the exercises, first of all, let us try to understand what is a direct speech and indirect speech. Okay. See, direct speech is reporting the message of a speaker in the exact word as spoken by the person. All right, like for example, Maya said, I am busy now. Now in direct speech, what we notice is that first is we speak the we quote the direct speech of the speaker, and the speech is usually quoted within the inverted commas. Okay, so that is direct speech, that is reporting the message of the speaker in the exact word as spoken by him or her. Alright, always remember, direct speeches are always quoted within inverted commas and exact words of the speaker are spoken. Alright, and indirect speech, and see, indirect speech is, reporting the message of the speaker in our own language, in our own words. Alright, like for example, I said, Maya said, I am busy now. Okay, so when we rewrite the sentence in indirect speech, how does it sound like? Maya said that she was busy then. Now, usually two things you've got to remember when you're doing indirect speech, that is the speech is usually quoted in our own words. I mean, we report indirect speech in our own language or in our own words. Okay, and reported speech or indirect speech are always written in what? In past tense. All right, so these are the simple things that you have to remember while converting speeches from direct to indirect. Okay, all right, now let us proceed to the exercise. All right, the first exercise says this is an MCQ type of question, that is the multiple choice question type. The first question says, choose the correct option to change the given sentence into indirect speech. All right. Now, what does this mean is that a sentence is given there. You have to change the sentence into indirect speech. That means the sentence which you see on the top is in direct speech. Okay. Today we are going to do sentences all on converting from direct to indirect speech. Okay. All right. So the first sentence is, Mahesh said to his mother, "Can I have another one?" Okay, now this is in our direct speech. Mahesh said to his mother, "Can I have another one?" And the options are, first option, Mahesh asked his mother if he could have another one. Second option, Mahesh asked his mother that he would love to have another one. Third option, Mahesh said to his mother that he wanted another one. And the last option, Mahesh said to his mother he wanted one. Now there are four options are there. Now you've got to tell me which option fits correctly here. All right. Now before you go on to, or before you jump into the answer, first of all, try to understand that while changing the direct speech to indirect speech, okay, the models used in the sentences like, can becomes, the change, like, can becomes could, may becomes might, or must becomes had to or would have to. All right. Okay. So before you jump onto the conclusion of selecting this or that answer, please remember that while changing the direct speech to indirect speech, the models used in the sentences change, like can becomes could, may becomes might, must becomes had to or would have to. All right. So by seeing this, by following this rules, the correct option for this answer, the correct answer for this question is what? Mahesh asked his mother if he could have another one. So this is the right option. Okay. All right. Now let us see question number 2. Question number 2 is also the same things. Choose the correct option to change the following sentence into indirect speech. That means the sentence that you see there is in direct speech. Okay, it's in direct speech. Now you've got to change it into indirect speech. All right, the question is, Rahul said, "It's a good idea." Okay, Rahul said it's a good idea. Now, the options are Rahul said that it is a good idea. Rahul said that it is a good idea. Or Rahul said it is a good idea. Or Rahul said that it was a good idea. Now, you've got to tell me which option fits here correctly. All right. Okay. Now, see, let's try to understand how to find the correct answer for this. Okay, see, usually when you are reporting a verb of a direct speech in a past tense, then all the present tense are changed into corresponding past tense in the indirect speech. You understood what I mean to say? In direct speech, if the reporting verb is in past tense, okay, then all the present tenses in the indirect speech will also be what? Past tense. That means here in the question, the reporting verb is in past tense, isn't it? Said. Instead of says, it is said. So it is in past tense. So in such a situation, when the reporting verb of the direct speech is in the past tense, then all the present tense in the indirect speech will also get changed into past tense. Okay. So with this idea in your mind, the option here is not 1, not 2, not 3, but option 4 is your correct answer. And the answer is Rahul said that it was a good idea. Okay. Was is what? Was is a past tense here, right? So that option number 4, Rahul said that it was a good idea is the right option. Okay. Now, let us see question number 3. Question number 3 is also the same. You've got to convert the sentence into what? Indirect speech. And the sentence is, stop, the officer screamed, or else I'll shoot. Okay, I'll repeat the question again. Stop, the officer screamed, or else I'll shoot. Okay, now you have 4 options here. Okay, first option is the officer ordered him to stop or else he'll shoot. Option 2, the officer requested to stop or else he'd shoot. Okay, option 3, the officer asked him to stop or else he'll shoot. Okay, or the last option, the officer ordered him to stop or else he'd shoot. Okay, now let's try to understand this, how to convert this first. Okay, see, when indirect speech is supported by some of the verbs like requested, ordered, we saw just now here in the options. Okay, so indirect speech is supported by some verbs like requested, ordered. Here we are using the word ordered. Okay, and verbs like suggested and advised, and sometimes in negative sentences we also use forbade and all. Okay, therefore the imperative mood. Now, this sentence is an imperative sentence, no? What is an imperative sentence then? Imperative sentences are sentences which expresses what? Which expresses certain entity or, order or a request and all that, no? So, therefore, the imperative mood in the direct speech changes into infinitive in the indirect speech. Now, what does this mean then? See. As I said, indirect speeches are supported by, verbs like requested, ordered, suggested, advised, etc. So here, since this sentence is an imperative sentence, so what happens? This imperative mood in the direct speech. Now this speech, we are going to change it in indirect speech. So the speech gets changed into infinitive. Infinitive means you have to use the word to here. You have to use the word what? To. So here the correct answer would be the not 1, not 2, not 3, but option 4 fits in correctly here. Okay. The officer ordered him to stop or else he'd shoot. Okay. So this is the correct option. That is option number 4. All right. Okay. So that's it. Number 3. Now let's switch on to number 4. Number 4. Sentence number 4 is, again, you've got to change the sentence into indirect speech. The question is, Praful exclaimed, okay, what an amazing idea. Okay, Praful exclaimed, "What an amazing idea!" Okay, and your options are Praful exclaimed that it was an amazing idea, or Praful exclaimed it was an amazing idea, or Praful exclaimed that it was an amazing idea, or option 4, Praful exclaimed that it is an amazing idea. All right, now you've got to pick up the correct answer here. All right, so what do you think? Which is the correct answer? What do you think is the correct option for this? Now, before we jump into conclusion, let me tell you a little bit about an exclamatory sentence. This sentence is an exclamatory sentence, okay? The sentence which you are going to convert here into an indirect speech is an exclamatory sentence. So, usually in exclamatory sentence, in exclamatory sentence that exclamatory sentence expresses what? Grief, sorrow, happiness, applaud. Yes or no? So in exclamatory sentences that expresses grief, sorrow, happiness, applaud, intersections are removed. Okay, intersections are removed and the sentence is changed into assertive sentence. Okay, in exclamatory sentence, the intersections are removed and then what? We convert the sentence into an assertive sentence. Assertive sentence means a simple, declarative sentence. Simple, it's just a positive sentence. Okay, so when you change this sentence into indirect sentence, then the correct answer would be what? Praful exclaimed that it was an amazing idea. So option 1 is your correct answer. All right? Okay. Now, let's see the last sentence of the exercise today. Well, this sentence also you've got to convert into indirect speech. All right. Okay. The sentence is Ritu said to Jaya, "Are you out of your mind?" Okay. Ritu said to Jaya, "Are you out of your mind?" Okay. Now you have 4 options here. The answer is Ritu said to Jaya that she is out of her mind. Option 2. Ritu said to Jaya that if she is out of her mind. Option 3. Ritu said Jaya that is she out of her mind? And the last one is Ritu asked Jaya whether she was out of her mind. Now let us try to find out which is the right option. 1, 2, 3 or 4. Alright. Now see, before that let me explain you the question first. See. In direct speech, okay, in direct speech sentence, okay, if the direct speech sentence begins with an auxiliary verb means what? A helping verb. Okay, if the direct speech sentence that we are about to convert into indirect speech, okay, so if the sentence in the direct speech begins with an auxiliary verb means a helping verb, then the joining clause should be if or whether. You understood? Now in this sentence, what is the auxiliary verb that has been used here? A-R-E-R is the auxiliary verb. This is the beginning of the sentence, A-R-E-R. So A-R-E-R is an helping verb. Okay, it is a helping verb. It is an auxiliary verb. A-R-E-R is a helping verb. And here the sentence is beginning with a helping verb R. Alright. So if the direct speech sentence begins with an auxiliary verb or a helping verb, then the joining two clauses, okay, the two clauses that should be joined either by using if or whether. All right. So the first option, you don't have a joining word, you don't have two clauses joined with if or whether. Okay, either you have to use if or whether. You need not use both. Either you can use if or whether. Okay, so option A doesn't use this word if or whether. Option 2 also doesn't. Option 3 also doesn't. You have option 4 there. The sentence says Ritu asked Jaya whether she was out of her mind, or you can also say Ritu asked Jaya if she was out of mind. So here your answer is option 4. Right. Well, children, these are few exercises we conducted here in direct speech and indirect speech for your understanding. In coming up classes, we're going to take more of such exercises. All right. Well, till then, stay tuned and stay connected.